Excuse me. Sorry, I'm like slouching like this. Hi everyone, my name is Holly, and as we are now in the spookiest month of the year, October, I thought I could show you the scariest, the most terrifying, most horrifying thing in all of my library. My shelf of shame. We are taking a bit of a deep dive today into the unknown, because if you're a Holly veteran, then this background is very different. A mini bookshelf tour, I guess. Now, I know a lot of people are iffy on the word shame, but through my perspective, when it comes to things I enjoy, it's not negative. It just means books I don't touch, a shelf I rarely show off, a shelf that actually used to be my entire library at one point. So, let's make light of it and reduce the mental pain that I feel daily. I asked you in my last video if you wanted to see it, and a lot of you do. So because I'm loyal, all you have to do in return is to like this video. Just scroll down a little bit. You can do it. There you go. You don't even have to pause the video. You aren't missing anything. Ignore the dislike button because that's for lame people and you're not lame. So here's the horror. This shelf right here is all YA, but I have read all the books on it. Except for the continuation of the Peculiar Children series. These two books, I have not gotten to these yet, but all of these books right here are read. Shocker, I know. I am actually on the complete opposite side of my library, so 3 entire shelves. That's like a galaxy spanning distance to a bookworm. This shelf right here only consists of books from subscription boxes. I am so incredibly grateful to have been a rep for a few book boxes throughout my booktube career, hobby, whatever you want to call it, and I'm currently a rep for Outcrate, who I freaking adore. So the books pile on me very quickly, and as a mostly adult SFF reader, they get neglected. Only 2 books on this entire shelf right here are read. Now I have read from this shelf books that I have since donated because I only keep books I love. So let's just take a closer look here. Also, I really apologize for this lighting, for this angle. I am not used to being over here, and I'm actually not even sitting on my chair. I'm sitting on a bed, so it's very hard to show you the books. So I'm actually going to pull them out individually and show you what they are. So first off, I have some tall hardcovers here because sometimes tall hardcovers are in subscription boxes. And the first one is The Guinevere Deception. I'm going to have to scoot up, aren't I? Actually, I'll just zoom you in. I don't know why I didn't do that in the first place. So The Guinevere Deception by Kristen White. This was an Outcrate book. So yeah, all of these books are signed. They all have like author letters. They are all very special to me, even though they are YA fantasy. But hey, sometimes there is a gem hidden in the rough, and I'll get to that book in a moment. So this is a fantasy. I believe it's an Arthurian legend retelling, and that has me really psyched. And it's so short. I could probably read this in just a couple days. I just need to pick it up. I should really do like a reading only YA fantasy for a couple weeks. Tell me below if you want to do that. But honestly, the reason why I don't do vlogs very often is because they don't perform well on this channel. So it shows me that, oh, my audience isn't really interested in doing that. But hey, I will do a vlog if you want it of me reading only YA. And no, it won't be a video of me just complaining. Where Dreams Descend, another Outcrate really special edition because there's no dust jacket. It is snaky. The ratings for this book have since declined since its release, but I'm still really interested in it. It's a very circusy book, but I think it has a lot of romance in it. We will see. I want to give it a chance. And the final tall hardcover is Incendiary. Now, I could have cared less for this book because of the original cover. I really was not attracted to the original cover, but then my mind changed when this Outcrate edition came. My decision flipped like a switch and I immediately wanted to read it because they did this cover good. I don't even know what it's about, but the original cover gave me dystopian vibes, so we'll see, right? Okay, so now on to the rest of the books. By the way, these books are kind of organized by color, which is a shocker because I do not like doing that. I do not like separating books, but all of these are first to a series, so I didn't mind doing it. The Nameless Queen. This was a Beacon Book Box books. I was a rep for them for like a year, which was really fun. The reviews for this book have also declined. Like, I've noticed a trend of that lately when subscription box books tend to really decline in ratings, but never listen to that. Always go with your gut. In this book, I'm going with my gut because there's something about it that sounds really unique to me. It's about a girl who was in like the lowest of the low class of citizens within this kingdom, and she ends up having this tattoo blazing on her arm, which means she's the next to inherit the throne. And I don't even think she's related. I mean, she has to be, right? This is why I kept it, because I want to know. Next is a really good one. The bone houses. So like I said, sometimes there are hidden gems within YA fantasy, and this is one. This is one of my all-time favorites. It's just so me. Just reading the synopsis, I kind of already knew I was going to love it. It's very medieval. It has zombies. Such a perfect October read. If you haven't read this yet, I highly recommend it. Most people, when they read this, they like it. You know, it was a good book. To me, it was life-changing. This is the book that makes me take a lot more chances with YA fantasy, because I want them to be like this. Ooh, this beautiful edition of Winterwood by Shea Earnshaw with the blue sprayed edges, the white cover, which the Bone Houses is white too. It was originally black. This was originally black. I want Owlcrate to keep doing that, by the way. Oh, it's so beautiful. And the nakedness. I mean, come on. This is another book that I'm not sure I'm going to like, but it is so short. I could pick this up and read it in probably like a day. Or DNF it. One of those options. Star Daughter. Man, this book kills me. The ratings for it have gone to the pooper. They are so freaking bad. I swear, every time I see a Bookstagram post or a Twitter post about this book, they DNF'd it. But this beautiful cover, you can't do this to me. You just can't. Purple sprayed edges, I gotta give it a chance. I just have to. Bone Crier's War by Catherine Purdy. Catherine Purdy has a pretty cover, and that's why I want to read it. This one has gold sprayed edges. I don't even know what it's about. This is giving me the Bone Houses vibes. They alone can keep the dead from preying on the living. Are there zombies in here? Should I read this like now? The Kingdom of Back by Marie Lu. Beautiful silver sprayed edges. This is a book about Mozart, I believe. This book is another one that I really want to give a chance because it's so freaking short. And I've heard some good things about it. I've never read a Marie Lu book before, and I kind of want to, and I wouldn't mind this being my first one by her. No, I do not want to read Legend. I am over YA dystopian. Do not even. Ooh, Crier's War by Nina Varela. I always forget that I own this. Beautiful. Was it Owlcrate? Is this Owlcrate? I think this is Owlcrate. Some of these are also fake rate, so I don't even know anymore. The only reason I have this and why I want to read it is because it has a female-female relationship in it, and that's all I needed to know. All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grays, a YA fantasy that is about the ocean, mermaids, which I feel like never do well in the book community for some reason. I don't know, I feel like it must be a really hard thing to write, and maybe this one is good. This one is from Owlcrate, and the naked cover is really, really pretty. I don't know, man, I'm terrified of the ocean, but I still want to read it. Oh, another kind of oceany fantasy, Seafire by Natalie C. Parker. They recently redid these covers for this one and the sequel, and I actually like them better. They do have people on them, but there is something about it being illustrated that just speaks to my heart. I think this one's more piratey. Wonder Woman meets Mad Max Fury Road. That sounds amazing. Yeah, an all-female ship intent on taking down a vicious warlord's powerful fleet. I really need to do another first chapter book tag for just the shelf. Would you guys like that? Tell me down below. Oh, I've been meaning to pick this one up for so long. Beyond a Darkened Shore by Jessica Leek. This one was from... oh, Unicorn Crate! I totally forgot about... I was a rep for Unicorn Crate. Wow. Yeah, this book, it's one of the oldest that I own. I was a rep for Unicorn Crate 2 years ago? Has it been that long? Wow. 2018.
I was right.
So, for some reason, this book reminds me of a place in Game of Thrones, and I cannot remember what the place is called. It's the place that Daenerys takes over. It's like her castle that she ends up getting to. Was it like Dragon Rock or something? Like the Targaryen castle? I don't freaking remember, but that place reminds me of this book, and it's why I want to read it so badly. It's probably nothing like it, but I want to read it. Ooh, Echo North by Joanna Ruth Mayer. I never see anyone talk about this book, so I just have no idea if I should keep it, if I should unhaul it, but it's a very heavy book, but it's a short one. I think it's about like a forest? Winter forest, enchanted house, mountain, like all of these words sound amazing. Magical library. This is why I have it. When I do rarely hear someone talk about this book, they always say how good it is and how underrated it is. Bring Me Their Hearts by Sarah Wolf. Oh, this one's from Pop Reads Box, which was a subscription box where they did a book and a Funko Pop that they customized for the book. I don't think they're a thing anymore, unfortunately. But the only reason why I've kept this one is because Kristen from Super Space Chick told me that she loved it. She loves the series. And even though she said I probably wouldn't like the realistic part of it, because I think it takes place in like New York at the beginning, or Boston or something like that. I don't remember what city it was, which is a big turnoff for me because I don't like books that take place in the real world. That is the fantasy in me speaking. But I love Kristen and I know she has good taste, so I want to give this one a shot because of that. Ooh, okay, so next we have The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. I think I've put this in my unhaul pile like 5 times. I think it's the cover and how short it is why I keep putting it back. People keep telling me that I'm not going to like this one, but like I always say, I stand by the statement. Don't always listen to if someone tells you that a book sucks or not, because you don't know if you're going to like it. Don't listen to low ratings. One of the biggest complaints about this book is that there's a lot of female characters that all are very similar, which I feel like is another complaint about House of Salt and Sorrows by Aaron A. Craig. I don't know, but I have both of these short YA fantasies. They're not taking up too much space. I don't mind holding on to them and seeing if I enjoy them. Up next is Goddess in the Machine. This is a YA sci-fi, and YA sci-fi, they don't come out that often, I feel like, and it's the only one on the shelf that I have, and I was excited about this one initially, but there's been a huge turnoff for me. Some reviews have come out saying that there's kind of like a made-up language or words that the characters use, and I can't stand that. The Book of Cully was like that, and I hated it. The entire book was the character talking in like broken English, and that is a big no for me, and apparently that's a thing in this book. So I should really just read the first chapter and see how I feel about it, and see if it's a little bit too distracting. It has gold edges too. Pretty. And then we have Rule by Ellen Goodlett. I love this cover so much. This is one of the oldest subscription books that I have on the shelf, but I don't know, it just sounds very classic fantasy, like not a whole lot going on with it, but I just love the classic fantasy vibe it gives me. Magic, mystery, and blackmail abound in this sensational and striking fantasy debut. I'm probably not gonna like it, but I like the cover. Oh wait, I lied. So there are 3 books that I have read on the shelf. Whoops! So I'm gonna go ahead and show you the next other book that I read, Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. I really enjoyed this book. It's a YA fantasy about Vikings, and I've never read anything close to that. And it was just really fun. It was very fast paced, and I adored it. I'm very happy to have this in my collection. Another book that I recently read that I can't tell you my thoughts on it, Horrid by Katrina Leno, the most recent Owlcrate book. It's a horror, supernatural thriller, but I'm not going to give you my thoughts on it. Unless you follow me on Goodreads, then you already know how I feel. Link is down below in my description box. So we have 2 more books left. The Glass Bear, another one of the oldest books that I have on the shelf. This was from Owlcrate, I believe. And I love the idea of the story. I've been wanting to pick it up for a really long time. Just the cover with the gems on it, the castle, it's so medieval sounding, and I want to give it a shot. And the final book is We Rule the Night, which is another book that's been in my unhaul pile many a time. I believe it's a YA fantasy dystopian. It's kind of drawing the line of both, but it involves like factory workers, guns, and airplanes, which sounds really cool, but also kind of doesn't sound fun at all. I think it sounds a little bit too modern, too government-y for me, but I mean, I keep putting it on my shelf, so I might as well keep it there until I run out of room, and then it's gone. Okay, so that was my shelf of shame. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up because it supports me so much. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. I upload videos every single week. Tell me down below which books on the shelf that you have read. I'm sure you guys have read probably most of them. Follow me on Instagram at HollyHeartsBooks and on Twitter at HollyNiece. And until we meet again, happy reading.